Hello, my name is Martin. I'm 31 years old. I'm from Germany. And 2 years ago, I was a long distance relationship. And unfortunately, it turned in a very dreadful ghosting experience. Yeah, 2 years ago, I made a backpacking trip through Bolivia. And it was such a beautiful journey. It made so much fun to travel there. I traveled through all over the country, and 2 weeks before I returned home, I went to La Paz, the capital city of Bolivia. And you have to know that I'm a politically very interested person. How would it feel to visit a demonstration there? So I went to the demonstration of the 1st of May, and indeed, that's where I met my later ex-girlfriend. So it was a real crazy coincidence. Yeah, but it was all fine at the beginning. We got into conversation. We had some ice cream later. We exchanged numbers, and it just happened that during the last 2 weeks of my trip, we fell in love with each other and we started a long distance relationship. So, this is the beginning where we had contact almost every day, where we watched movies together, and so on and so on. Yeah, to be honest, it felt wonderful to be with this person. I was so much in love with that girl. She really looked good, very attractive, and yeah, I felt feelings I never had before, and I really had the idea that she would be the one. I had a lot of confidence, a lot of trust, and I felt very safe. I think what I liked most about our connection was the fact that she lived on another continent. Many people say that a long distance relationship would be a cause of suffering, but for me it was something special. It was something really unique. After half a year, I flew to Bolivia again in order to visit her. I stayed there for 2 weeks during my vacation. Just when I arrived, 3 days later or something, she suddenly broke up out of nowhere. Yeah, because of someone else she met and her feelings disappeared and so on. I was so surprised. I didn't expect this. I flew over to Bolivia just for her, just in order to visit her, and we had so much contact the days before, and then she broke up out of nowhere. It was really unexpected. The most weird thing was that on the last day of my trip, she suddenly changed her mind. She changed 100% her mind. Yeah, and I made a mistake and I don't want you to leave, and so on and so on. And when I was on my way to the airport, I suddenly received a message in which she told me that you a fantastic person, that she would love me so much, and that she enjoyed every moment of our relationship, and so on and so on. She even told me that she will visit me, etc., etc. So I was so astonished, and when I flew home to Germany again, I was obviously totally confused. What should I do? What should I feel? Should I give her another chance? I was so confused. Yeah, like looking backwards, you could say, okay, this sounds like a really wild, crazy love story, but this is just when the things started to get scary. So, a couple of days after I came back home to Germany, I decided to write her a message. And I asked her, what happens with that boy you told me about? And what is about us? Like, what do you think? What do you feel? Please tell me. I got no response. And I was irritated, like, okay, you sent her a question mark, but I got no response. Can I talk to you? No response. I waited a couple of days, and then it was Christmas, and I sent her, Merry Christmas, I hope you're fine. No response. So this is when the ghosting began. And, I felt a very intense energy inside myself because I felt that because she changed her mind at the end of the trip. The whole situation was not cleared. Like there was so much to talk, and I needed to clarify this. But no, she just didn't answer. So I started to feel very anxious, very nervous. And I was afraid, like, did I make something wrong? Why doesn't she talk to me anymore? What was the problem? Would it be possible that she never writes to me again? I felt a very intense feeling of fear. And then it was New Year's Eve, and suddenly I saw a WhatsApp status she set up on purpose. A WhatsApp status, she was shown on a photo with a new boyfriend, and the photo was subtitled with I love you. And to be honest, at first I was so relieved because I understood that's a kind of a message, especially set up for me. So I know what the situation is like. I have kind of clarity. But of course, at the same time, I was very astonished. Like, why don't you tell this to me personally? And like, there are still so many questions, and like, I couldn't even say goodbye to you. Like, I need a conversation, like, I need some clarity. And like, just in theory, what would happen if you broke up, you and your new boyfriend, your new affair, like, would you like to get back to me again or not? I still had feelings for her. So I had so many questions, and especially one important question: will we see each other again? And she told me that she will visit me. She told me that we will see each other again. So I needed a kind of a closure. The question was, how many weeks, how many months, or how many years I would have to wait for this closure? How much time I would have to wait for this answer? And given that she never would write to me ever again, would this mean that this person is actually dead? A person who doesn't write, a person who doesn't speak is a person who doesn't exist. Like, a person who doesn't exist is the person who is dead. This is the last time where we spoke with each other again. I was really afraid, and I thought about the situation over and over and over again. The questions I just told you about, the questions repeated themselves all the time. They really developed into thinking spirals, into obsessive thinking spirals I couldn't control. And these thoughts, all these questions, they terrorized me. Like, I was captured inside this prison of fear and uncertainty and open questions. And I also developed sleeping problems all the time. I woke up after 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep. It was terrible. And I even developed delusions. You have to know I live with a mental disorder. I'm also in contact with doctors because of this. And this situation triggered my mental issues. Give you an example. I sat in the car, and on the radio there was a song. It was titled "Talk to Me," and I thought that this song was kind of a message sent to me that should show me the way for the future. I should talk to her. Then there was another song on the radio and said something like "Forget about me" or something. And again, I thought that this was a sign, a message, like as a sign of a destiny, a message especially designed for me that should give me instructions how I should handle my life. Like, my mind played tricks on me. I developed ideas that were not real. It was scary. Yeah, so one of the first things I made was I wrote a very drastic message, and looking backwards, it wasn't a good idea. I wrote her, "It's an emergency. I'm stuck into a mental health crisis. Can I talk to you, please? Well, I think this probably was kind of an overwhelming message. It was also a test for me, like, would you respond on this type of question? But she didn't answer. I got no response. Like, even a supposed emergency was no motivation for her to react. And yeah, I don't think it was a really smart idea to send this message, but it really shocked me. Like, we were so close to each other a couple of weeks before, and now you treat me like this? What the is wrong with you? Yeah, I visited my former therapist then, and we developed quite a cool plan. We decided to contact a common friend from Bolivia, and the friend was okay to talk with me, for God's sake. And she explained me the supposed reason why she broke up the contact was because in Bolivia things are like this. It's like when you leave your partner, you don't want to influence their so-called old world that influence the new world. So it has a cultural reason. Like they want to treat their partners as shit, so they show them, yeah, I'm done with you. And of course, it's so stupid. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. And it's so childish, but supposedly it's like this. And she also told me that, yeah, she thinks it would be the best for me if she doesn't respond. At first, the situation was clear, but to be honest, the feelings and all these thinking spirals, they still continued for various months. So I had no other option than just to continue my life. I made some sports, I met new people, I talked with my friends about the situation and so on. I really worked on myself. And step by step with the time it got better. 2 years later, like a couple of weeks ago, I decided to contact a ghosting specialist, a therapist specialized in ghosting, because the situation still felt unclosed for me and I still had so many questions. Yeah, so we decided to contact another common friend. And again, I explained him my point of view and we asked him if he could present her a message. And the idea is that if she doesn't respond to me, maybe she responds to him. So we told her that I felt very, very bad when this happened, and that probably she wasn't conscious about this. Probably she didn't intend to hurt me so much. So I would like to offer her a reconciliatory conversation in order to find closure. And she responded to him. She responded, hello. We waited 2, 3 days. This was all what she responded. Hello. So we asked her, what do you think? And then she said, yeah, it's no stress, all fine. Please tell Martin that all is right, that he should live his life and he should have a happy life. All is fine. And now, no, she feels uncomfortable talking with me. This was all what she said. All right, no stress, don't worry. Yeah, it's insane. You know, to be honest, I feel so much relieved, and I'm even grateful for her answer. On the other hand, it's so ridiculous. Like, I just told her about through which horror I went, and all she says is, don't worry, all fine. It's insane, it's crazy. And I don't feel any anger. I just think maybe she wasn't the right one. Because a normal person wouldn't react like this. So now it's 2 years later, and I really feel better with the situation. And I'm very thankful to my friends who supported me with that stuff. Yeah, I'm done with this. It's because they're afraid. They're scared about telling the truth. They're afraid about some conflict. In my case, there might have been also an intercultural component, but still, I think the main reason why people ghost is fear. And I think that's sad because, to be honest, I don't think you need to be afraid. If you want to break up with me, just do and tell me. Maybe I will get angry, maybe, but I won't hate you. I know that you're not a bad person. I don't hate you. So there's no reason why you should be afraid. And if you break up, please do it properly. Like, don't let me in uncertainty. Don't send me any love messages. If you want to break up, just break up and say it clearly. And if you only send me a small message, if you only give me a hint, I would be so grateful. But speak and just don't run away. I think ghosting is not even a harm for the ghosted ones. It's even a harm for the ghosters themselves because they miss so much learnings. In my case, I would have welcomed her one day in Germany that she can visit me. No, I won't. She's not welcome here in my country. And I think that's also a loss for her. Please be honest.